You can't drag one without dragging the other one. You can't look at her perspective without looking at his. You can't uplift her without uplifting him. They're just two young parents trying to get it right. You had to see me coming. Anyway, so I have something to say, okay? And it's in regards to just a little follow-up and a recap. You know, I already have a video with some initial thoughts on how this was going to go with the breakup with DDG and Halle Bailey. I'm coming from a very neutral position, but I'm also coming from a position as a mother. I feel like both parents are good parents, okay, from what I could see. And they're decent human beings. You know what I'm saying? You generally, I mean, everybody has, you know, their ways about them that are, you know, kind of, you know. But for the most part, I feel like they're decent human beings. I also feel like their parenting styles are also the way that they would have been. I feel like DDG could have had a baby by any other woman, and he would have parented his son the same. And I feel like Halle could have had a baby by any other man, and she still would have parented her child the same. I just feel like their parenting styles clash. And sometimes you really don't get to know, or no, you're just not going to know who you're dealing with while you guys are single with no children. Changes when you guys are broken up with a child or children. Okay, you deal with each other differently. I don't feel like Halle overreacted at all. I don't. I feel like that is her parenting style. From her perspective, I could really see this from both perspectives. From her perspective, I feel like she really can't say she knows the position that she has put herself in. I feel like Halle is, not only does reality remind her every day, I feel like her circle reminds her closest to her reminds her of the situation that she has put herself in, which is, you know, being a single mom. You gotta, and it's while the baby's still little. Even if you have all the helping hands on deck, you still want to be able to, you know, shelter your child the way you want to. And I feel like if she had her way, her son would be maybe somewhat making appearances, kind of like how she pops out. You see Halle when she's on business. You don't necessarily just see her, you know, or it's like an allotted time where she's making it like a thing. It's not like her whole life is not documented every day in, day out. This is what we're doing today. I'm going shopping, come with me. I'm brushing my teeth, come with me. I'm combing my hair, come with me. She's not a vlogger. She's not a streamer. I'm sure this is not her and DDG's first go back and forth with all of the baby's exposure online. I'm pretty sure this isn't the first rodeo. And I feel like that's why she took it to social media, like just off. Because if what she's saying is true, is I'm fine. Usually if my baby is on stream, I'm somewhere in the vicinity. I'm either in the house, I'm in town, whatever. I'm somewhere around. And it's to the point where I could get the baby. So I feel like it's something like she's saying, I feel like her, what she was trying to say didn't come over. It didn't go across. It didn't click to people well, because her whole point is like, I don't mind him being with his dad on stream, because DDG's following knows that the baby has been on the stream with his dad. But her point is, I'm usually around and I usually know about it ahead of time. That was all she was saying. So not only am I out of town, you taking the baby and you going to this much larger stream, okay, to have him film. Like, you had to had known this. Like, even if you were popping in, like, she would have wanted like a, hey, Halle, like, or we about to hop on, we just finna slide by Casa house real quick, and then we gonna be back out, you know, after a little bit. You know, I don't know if it would have went over well, but I'm just saying. If she really, really found out that, like, with the rest of the world, that her baby, like, the moment DDG and the baby walked in, like, with the rest of the world, I mean, I can only imagine. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, of course, I mean, what do you do? What do you do? Do you even if you were to hop on the phone, he not finna answer? Unless, I mean, I don't know. Then you going off while you on speakerphone on a live. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, what do you do besides, like, after the fact? Like, I could just imagine the rage. I feel like it was just like, I feel like it was more so of a rage and I get it. I completely understand. Because sometimes it's not even, like I said, we just did the whole scenario. Like, let's not go around the principle here. Like, generally, you know this. That I always, even if he's on stream with you, you know that I know I have some kind of inkling that that's what y'all gonna be doing. Okay? Like, leaving out the fact that you plan to go to Kai Sanai's house during his mafia-thon or whatever it's called, because you're one of his guests, is something that I should know beforehand. I don't feel like that's controlling. I don't feel like any of that. If that's the type of communication they normally have, just out of common courtesy, at the end of the day, like I said, Halle, I feel like she's taking the blows here, because I feel like she's just learning who she's had a baby with. But how else would you know until you have the baby? Okay? And I feel like DDG is also learning who he has a baby with. But I feel like he understands and knows, just, he has to know how she is by now. She's always been very private, selective. Like I said, like, if the pop off is necessary, I'll pop off. But she's never really been that person. Any kind of negative feedback that she has gotten is always attached to his name. Okay? So I'm pretty sure I feel like it's more than postpartum. It's more than the stream. It's more than, it's so much more that goes on. And that's whether you're a female or a male. I feel like everything is happening so fast, or everything has happened so fast, and she, you know, it's like she couldn't even come off celebrating the mermaid good because you're pregnant. From DDG's perspective, he's a dad. He's a first-time dad. He's a proud dad. He is a streamer. You knew who I was when you met me. You know how I became rich. Like, the things and the nice things that I'm able to do for you, I'm able to do those things, and we're able to live in this house that I had before I met you, due to me being a YouTuber. So you knew who I was. I don't want to have to hold my baby back from what I do, which should be understood, because this is what I do. This is my living. This the money I make. I ain't finna stop today just because I have a son. If anything, I'm finna have my son on here with me, and we finna, like, go up. You know what I'm saying? I could completely understand it from his perspective. So like I said, you can't drag one without dragging the other one. You can't look at her perspective without looking at his. You can't uplift her without uplifting him. They're just two young parents trying to get it right. Okay? And it was just one of those things where, I mean, obviously, you know, they either should have prevented pregnancy, or just, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's just one of those things. It just comes with the territory. I feel like she made another statement and saying that she probably shouldn't have brought it to social media. But like I said, that her doing that just furthermore let us know that y'all had already had some spats about the baby's exposure online presence. Okay? So y'all already had some spats. And like I said, I feel like she took it from a kind of like, are you like blatantly, like, are you blatantly like, not, like she said, she mentioned something about her wishes and her boundaries or something like that. Like, you know how I feel about this. Like, we weren't just a one night stand. You just popped up and learned who I am today. You know how, you knew in her mind, she's like, you knew this would hurt me. You knew I would feel some kind of way about this. Okay? And that was where she reacted from, that space. I don't really don't feel like the big deal was the stream thing. She just would have wanted to know. Back on the statement, I do not think she was rebuttaling on her previous statement, because she actually put in a little bit more in the next statement. I just don't want to find out what my baby is doing with the rest of the world. You know, when it's something like that. Like, I'm finding out what a whole world finna see this, but me as his mom, I didn't know. That's all. I just feel like it's really that simple. But I feel like they are going to have to come to some common place in regards to either getting the baby, not being able to be, neither one of them going to be posting them online before it's all over with. Because I can understand DDG's position too. Like, you can't just post them when y'all making breakfast, and you know, if you're subtle, you may post them more subtle, and I may just, you know what I'm saying, just any little thing, I got my son with me and we online, and you don't like it. So it's gonna have to be something that they come to common ground about. Hopefully they take it serious earlier on. Maybe this was the thing that was like, you know what, in a discussion, and we finna do something about it. I don't know. But I think she'll be perfectly fine not being able to like post her child without written notice or whatever the case, if it comes down to be something that deep. But it shouldn't come down to being something that deep. It really should be something that they should be able to come into. Like, I feel like both people need to honor the person inside who they feel in love with. Like, at some point, DDG fell in love with Halle, and Halle fell in love with DDG. And it's something about that part of y'all that y'all fell in love with each other that y'all gonna have to still let live while y'all try to co-parent y'all's baby. Okay? Because trying to suppress the part of a person that you fell in love with, don't do that. I wish DDG and Halle the best. I've already said this in a previous video. I really do like both of their personalities. You know, I could clearly see, you know, where the opposites attract with them. And I feel like they may just, I don't know. I really can't see them being like donezo forever. I don't know why. I don't see them being done forever. I don't wish they'll get back together. But, I mean, people change when they grow. They're only 24 and 27. People change when they grow. You know, I was having my first child at 27. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you change, you know. We're saying, I mean, that's 9 years ago for me. So people change and they evolve. And what you used to like, you may not like. And sometimes if you step away from something that you feel like, the two of you go your own separate ways, mature separately, and test the waters and see if it's something that, you know, but usually they could come back together if things don't get too messy. So please, y'all, please, like, even if y'all strifing and beefing, please just make the other parent happy Because that's all that the word. No, this is not. It shouldn't even be a thing, and it's not Hallie's fault that it's a thing, because any mother already know. I don't care if you have kids and you really that raw, that protective mother, and you ain't gonna play about yours, and you can meet me at the court if need be, and what? Let's squad up then. Your squad against my squad. You know, but I'm just saying, if you one of them, you already know. You would have did the same thing, like, oh, he tried it. I could have texted your phone. I could call you too, but let's go ahead since you want to stir it. Let's stir it up then. This is just me making a public note with my thumbtack for later. I don't know. Anyway, I wish them the best.